What up, y'all? Satu Dave. Early as fuck Sunday morning. It's like 5 o'clock. Rooster's just now going off. It's not even light. So, I don't know if you can see the window. You can't even see the window. Never mind. It's not light yet. It's early. We've been busy as hell. All kind of crazy stuff. You know, like life gets to you. But we got to be in Phoenix in like at 10, which is like 2 hours away from us. So I got like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I got 3 hours to basically do all these videos, which I'm gonna do them all in sections. Try to mash them up on the way, and edit it. You know, me editing. I know, but I've been doing it here lately. It actually kind of works out sometimes. And anyway, I just got a lot of running around to do. I'm supposed to be at Iona's house about 2:30, something like that. So I got to be back from Phoenix, 2 hour drive about that time. So maybe a little less to his house. Anyway, I got a lot of running around to do today. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm still working on the coffee. And like I said, I did all the other videos for this whole little thing. This is kind of more like the intro, outro. I'm trying to say it differently, okay? So bear with me because my brains ain't 100% functioning just yet. All right, so I went over some of the other stuff that's on this table and other little sections of videos, but it's been a really cool knife week again. Steve and I, that dude's a brother in more ways than y'all know. But we seem to be like on similar wave paths, I guess. Like sometimes deals are just too damn good to pass up. And it's kind of cool for me. Like you meet people, and some people you agree with, and some people just kind of like, you just meet and kind of skip off and keep going down your separate paths or whatever else. The guy I bought the Spartan from, Spartan Harsey folder, I met him from Reddit, and I really didn't know him at all. And then when he was shipping it to me, I noticed that he was from another city, from another friend of mine. All right, screw it. I'm just going to say it because I don't think either one of them care. So I met Sean through the Reddit, and then he lives the same place that Mateo lives. So I was like, hey, y'all should probably just, you know, do you know, I actually asked him, do you know Mateo? He's like, no. I was like, you want to meet him? He's like, sure. So I just did it, you know, introduction. Them guys ended up meeting. Sean bought some jerky from Mateo. They became kind of knife buddies or whatever else. I don't know if they talk a lot or not, but Sean and I have talked quite a few times, basically through Instagram, but he's a cool dude. A lot of the similar style knives. He's asked me opinion of a couple of them. He's got some really banger knives. He got some really cool knives. Some stuff that I've never even got to handle. So he's become cool buddy to bullshit with. And y'all know a few weeks ago I was Googling over like how hard it was to find this thing. It's pretty much the only reason I joined Facebook and went to that Only Blades Over 250 group. Was to get a hold of the guy who had this for sale. I was joined through my wife and having communications issues with the dude, and ended up wasn't really a communication issue on my part. It was more the fact that he was going through some stuff. But anyway, rambling, I know. It took a long time to find another one of these sharks, and this is the 2.5, which is the latest, greatest version, with a certain blade grind that I wanted. You know, the even V ground edge and primary and secondary. So it was super hard for me to track one of these down. Like I've been looking for a while. Well, Sean hits me up and goes, hey, how good are those knives? I'm like, good, man. They're badass, dude. You're gonna like it. I didn't realize he was a lefty, or maybe I forgot, or whatever else. But so Sean ended up getting one for about the same money as what I paid for that one, and it didn't work for him at all. And I told him before he even got it, hey man, if you get it and don't like it, hit me up, because I always like that stuff. And yeah, he did. And yeah, the lefty didn't work out for him, but yeah, this is pretty much the exact same knife, just in DLC. The unique thing about this one, and I have been carrying and using this one, if you see any scars or stripes or whatever else, grease marks, whatever might be on this. I'm not beating it up, but I'm definitely going to carry it and definitely going to use it. The cool thing about this one, and that's what I'm trying to get at, stay on task, motherfucker. This is serial number 1 of the 2.5s. And according to Sean, it was one of Pete's buddies that he made this for. I haven't talked to Pete about it yet. Pete and I communicate every now and then on Instagram and that sort of thing, but he's kind of in and out. I don't know if he monitors his all regular or not, but I think it's cool as hell to have number 1. Not that I really give too much of a shit about the number part of it. More I'll give a shit, but it's the all black one. And so people looking, going, why the hell did you buy the exact same knife twice? As I've got 3 Satus sitting right here, right? Yeah, I'm an idiot, and I like that shit. But they do actually feel, because of the coating, this one feels, and the handle wise is slicker. Like the corner rounds and stuff, it's just a slicker knife. And this little bit of traction that you get from the DLC really makes a difference in the hand. Like, so it does give you a decent amount more traction in the hand. Transversely, the action on this one is a little more of that scary drop shutty kind of thing. It's not nasty, but it's, you know, it's got, the blade's heavy, so it's got more of that. Where this one's kind of a little bit slower. See it? A little bit slower. So I dig them both. So will I probably mod the full tie one? Yeah, probably so, because there are a few things like with all knives that you would want to make your own. And I'll go over all this stuff in a video and that sort of thing, but I just wanted to basically say thanks to Sean. Once again, community is badass, man. It's just so cool to meet somebody when you're doing a purchase and becoming buds with them. Like, that's part of the fun of the whole knife journey. And it was just a deal too good to pass up. Like, I wasn't looking for that knife again. I was happy with the one I had, but then the black one showed up. Like, it is what it is, man. I had to do it. I really did. All right, so we're gonna call this one the intro, and I'll do an outro here in a second. So, been a busy week as far as, it's been a really cool week. A lot of stuff in and out. And, sorry about the glasses. I can't see shit anymore. I got a bunch of scales made. So I got 12 scales made. They're not done yet, but you can basically see where I'm going on this kind of project. So I'm just gonna show you one real quick. This is actually the one I didn't want to show you. I'll show you the difference here real quick. So this one is just off the machine, slightly finished the hand bevels, and just bead blasted at work. But you see how fingerprinty he is? I don't know if you can see the shine in the light, how fingerprinty he is. It's just, the finish is not what I want. So the stock Satu finishes, damn, I knocked that fucking coffee in for a second. This is the stock Satu, like kind of that, it's like a polished stone wash, and you see the bead blast just does not match. It's just not matching at all. So I'm trying to get closer to this so that people that have the regular stock Satus, when they throw these scales on there, they at least somewhat match. The one that I had done before, this is just blasted, but this is, I machined the surface of this differently than the ones I did on this. This is actually face milled. That was actually wire EDM cut, for those who know the difference. But all these dimensionally, all the holes in it and the positions of it are within a half thou. So they're all pretty tight tolerances, aerospace tolerance, whatever you want to call it. It's just what I do for a living. So if you can see the two differences here, the main difference in these two will be the corner radius. This has that nice, let's see if I can see it. So it's nice corner rad around the whole thing. This is a little bit sharper edged on this particular one. This is the first one I did, and I was going to leave it like this, but I was like, I just wanted to push a little more, so I got a little bit more corner rad around the whole thing. And it's not, this one's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's just a little bit sharper, I guess, compared to, like, say the stock one, which has, they just did a chamfer mill, or did they go corner round? No, that's just chamfer milled on those, I think. I should put my glasses back on. But anyway, it's you can see the main difference between mine and their stock ones is going to be that the pattern here is like a terraced here. You see how the mill pattern runs circular, terraced, and mine's more like a starburst. See how that pattern runs like that? It just feels different in your hand. Obviously, it's slightly different, but visually, if you want to see, hey, is that a Satu day scale? All mine have that. Even the original ones that I did, which with original, when I say original, I make that. I've only done this like, I think 3 different setups. See, it's not as deep, but it still has that. And the radius on this one is super shallow compared to what I did before. And also the corner rads on this one is different. So, yeah, I don't care. But anyway, scales are in process. I'm just not happy with the finishing of them right now. I'll get the finishing done and I'll post when they're going to be available. But, you know, I was trying to hurry up and get them done. Try to get them in people's hands, maybe for like Christmas or whatever, gifts or whatever. I don't know, man. Like, I don't feel like I want to rush this. I want to do it right the first time. So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to experiment with a couple finishes. Like I was saying before, I'm going to send a couple to JD, let him like play with anodize and do whatever he wants to do with them. And then maybe they'll come out, you know, something that someone wants. I mean, maybe JD and I can work together a little more and stuff like that. Because I like working with him. He's a cool dude anyhow. I'll go over something else. But this is the backspacer, if you haven't seen the backspacer. So you know the stock that's not a stock one. Here we go. The stock one's just a G10. But you can see even this is actually matches my scale 100%. But even on well, let me get this one here. This is the old version of that same scale, but it's basically drawing the same CAD and CAM software. So you can see that this is my scale with the backspacer, and then just from the stock side. I don't know if you can see it or not. Pretty dang close. Pretty dang close. But anyway, so that's what's even going to show up more like finish wise. Like if they're not all finished at the same time, the same way it's going to show up. So I'm struggling on how to make it all work. So I might offer a service. I'm thinking of going to where if you wanted to send me your Satu, I could finish your lock side, the scale, and the backspacer all at one time. That's kind of sort of my thoughts on it anyhow. But otherwise, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And then I'll probably just have like a couple different finishes. And you can choose the one you want. And then first come, first serve. And if, you know, the only bead basted left or whatever, and everybody wants the aluminum oxide blasted, stone washed or something, I'll just do them all that way. Or maybe or I don't know. I'll figure it all out. But I got to thinking, like, if you got a DLC, a full DLC, full tie, you already got the tie scale. You don't need my scale, right? I mean, I'm not opposed to selling you one if you want one, but you don't really need one, right? But I was trying to think of something cool to do, and then I saw some scrap the other day. You know, it's limited amount, so it's not like I had a ton to do it with. But I thought it'd be a cool idea. Maybe some of you like it, maybe some of you don't. I don't know. We'll find out. If y'all don't buy them, I'm going to use it anyhow. So this is something like this. I found some copper, so I figured, well, that's cool. You know, something different to throw in the middle of it, because I think that'll look pretty damn cool, actually. It does substantially way more than the other ones do, but hey, you're carrying a Sawtooth. Do you really care about ounces? I don't know. It could affect the balance. I haven't installed it yet, so I don't know. And then I also thought about maybe, since I got this copper, you know, you kind of need to even it out a little bit. I thought about making some, like, press some copper over the top of these thumb studs, like basically press fit some copper and make a copper thumb studs for it. But it's just a thought process. I ain't done it yet. I didn't even look to see if I can find the material yet. So copper is not the easiest thing to find. And obviously, you know, it's hella expensive. So I may try to work out like something where it matches, but I might just sell the backspacer too. So if you really want the copper ones, let me know. Obviously, I have 2. I'm not going to be able to make more. It's literally like luck of the draw to find the material. All right, so that's the update for the Satu and the Satu scales. All right, what's up, y'all? So kind of final thoughts on, well, this is the M3, but M3 made, which I'll do another video on this one, but M3, I think, was it Modern Mission Mobility? That's kind of what the M3's supposed to stand for. But anyway, M3 made this one. I'll do like a more in-depth video, kind of more like what I did with the Growler yesterday or Friday or whatever day it is. This is early Sunday morning. Yeah, Sunday morning. And I'm going to be passing off the Growler. So, just the one I did the video on, the M3 made one. So this is kind of like final thoughts, I guess. I don't know. I put it away last night thinking I just wake up this morning. I've got tons of running around shit to do. We got an appointment in Phoenix, which is like 2 hours away at 10. So it's like 5 in the morning right now. I think I've said that the last little clip I did too. Who gives a shit? Anywho, I put this away last night thinking I'd just grab it, and then when I got to Eon's, I just handed it off to him and we both talk about it and play with it. But as soon as I woke up this morning, I wanted to play with it again. It kind of says something about the knife. For me personally, like if you wake up thinking about that knife, thinking about wanting to flick it, or how the detent felt when you just barely closed it, like that sort of thing, like this knife has gotten under my skin. I like it a lot, a whole lot. Let me put my glasses on real quick. So I briefly touched on it yesterday. I did say something about it, but I think the main downfall for me with this knife is going to be your pocket clip. I think that pocket clip has no business being on a classy knife like this. Like, this is a good, classy American knife, and that looks like a $40 cheap Chinese crap knife to me. Personal opinion, right? Everybody's got their own. Functionality wise, yeah, sure, it works fine, but man, you could do so much better than this. So much better. Hopefully they'll have an option. If not, then I guess aftermarket will, and y'all know me, I'll probably make one for my own. So if it comes down to that, and and they don't do a solution, and it's not an aftermarket solution, then maybe I'll make a solution for it. I don't know. I still go back to the same thing I said before, and even actually Steve had, I didn't even think about it until he said something about it, but he's like, it kind of looks like a little mini direware, and it kind of sort of, I know, if you look at it like that, like, man, that's just it's a cool design knife. And if you think about just making it thicker, contouring the scales, and having it just very much like direware-esque. And if you're familiar with the action of direwares, like how the detents are tuned kind of flippery, or for the non-flipper models, like how they feel and stuff, I guess I get the same kind of vibe. Like, it's just a real good feel. I said it on my video yesterday, but the detent feel is just, it's great. It's super good. The biggest thing for me is it's just a thin little guy. Like, this is not, I mean, I'm buying one, don't get me wrong. It's super slicey, and I guess for what they designed it, it's what they want. For me personally, and that's what we're talking about here anyhow, right? Kind of like, me personally, I just wish they'd beef everything up. Just beef it up. Like, it don't have to be to my thicknesses. If it was my thicknesses, I'd make them all 3/16, the blade, the scales, everything. I don't even care if they have the inserts personally, but 3/16, so then be the whole thing 3/16, kept the design exactly like it was. Kind of what I was alluded to yesterday. From a machinist point of view, if you're making a scale like a Satu scale, to make it thicker or thinner from a machine point of view is just a matter of flute length. If you get the flute length, it's just changing a Z offset and maybe a couple of passes, like you add a pass or something if you needed depth, but there's nothing to make this thick. I mean, from a machine point of view, 10 seconds on the controls. I could do it without any CAD software, without any CAM software. Just go out there to the machine and work it. Like, that's how easy it would be to make this thick. Now, the blade grind may be a different story, because then you're talking about more involvement. But like, as far as like the actual scales and stuff, and even the inlays, none of that stuff, the hardware would have to be slightly thicker, but like, it wouldn't be shit to make this thicker. Not at all. So that's 100% what I would have done, or at least maybe even do a limited edition. I don't know. I don't even care if it charge more for it. Like, to me, like, that's just what I would like to see out of that knife. If they made this in a thicker knife, I don't care if they even almost double the price. It would be worth it for me. That would be what I would choose if I was doing something different with it. But as is, it's still a sick knife, and I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna enjoy it. Like I said, the biggest thing to me is that pocket clip. Like I alluded to yesterday, like, you'll find all the options and all that stuff through Kevin and other websites and that sort of thing. So I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's kind of my final thoughts on the Devo Growler. And like I said, this M3, I have a lot of thoughts on it too. And I'm gonna hold this one a little longer. Kev said that they were cool with me checking this one out a little bit longer, because I really haven't carried this one. I've just played with this. I haven't really cut with it or anything, and I kind of want to have more use for this one. So I give you guys a little more feel what I think anyhow. Not that y'all come to me for like, oh, let's see the most practical knives from Dave. Yeah, nobody does. I know. Confession. This is mainly for Kev and for future reviewers. There is a slight blemish. There it is. You see it in light right there, which may or may not be for me carrying this slip. I didn't do anything with it to scar it, so there is a slight blemish in the finish. So if future reviewers or Kevin see it and want to know who did it, and this dumbass did it, if it needs to be repaired or something like that, you let me know. We'll do what we need to do to make it right. Just confessing that I believe that happened here. I didn't inspect it when I got it that much. Imagine that, right? All right. We'll pause this section, do another one. All right, second I was talking about doing, a little collab work with anodizing with my brother JD. We exchange knives back and forth. If you watch his channel at all, JD for EDC, you see that I send him stuff. You see stuff on my channel from time to time. Often what we do is just send each other's knives and not really tell each other what we're sending, which is fun. Like, Steve had originally done that to me, like, not knowing what was coming, and like, you don't know what to anticipate, right? And JD and I are kind of in, we come together in certain things, like the Unizon. We both love the Unizon and other CRKs and stuff like that. But like, for the most part, it's not like I'm not into the knives he's into. He's not into the knives I'm into. We just like have different likes. Like, that's the cool thing about the knife world. Me and him could still be knife bros, even though we're not even into the same knives. Having said that, he likes to send stuff that's probably more like what he thinks I might enjoy, which is, what everybody would do, right? All right. I know the last one we just all talked about well, almost all mine I talk about it, I guess. American made, American made, American made. So he went and, I don't know, he got the Schrade, and I'm gonna butcher the name, and sorry JD, I'm gonna butcher. You can look at his channel, find the name, stuff like that. I'll try to find it before I get out through. But it's this guy here, and it does say made in the USA on it, and it's a interesting knife. I'm just not, you know, I've said it a million times, I'm a frame lock, titanium, full tie kind of guy, and I truly am. I like some carbon fiber. I generally don't keep access lost knives. Like, yeah, I've had quite a few. I even had that Manix XL, and like, just, I never go for them. Never. It's just not a knife that appeals to me. I don't know, for whatever reason. But JD wanted me to check it out. And then he also was interested in maybe doing some pocket clip work and that sort of thing. And it's just you know, it's not that bad of a pocket clip, but I think where it hangs is more the problem was that high pocket clip that some people don't like, kind of, you know, when your hands come around that backside, it kind of hits you. But we'll do a little test and tune, or however you want to call it, whatever your background is. I don't even know what steel this one is. It looks like this could be S35, I believe is what it says. Which I like that steel the whole time. But JD, thanks for sending it, man. I'm going to try to see what I can do for a pocket clip, give an assessment to the knife as a whole. I have no idea what the knives cost, all that stuff. So I'm not even going to do the research. I'm going to let y'all figure it out if you want to figure it out. And I think I've seen some videos, maybe Neves or somebody has done some videos on it. And definitely my buddy JD did. So if you want to check out what the knife's about, check out JD's channel for the true info, because, you know, you get this guy rambling more than you get actual facts on this channel, which is, you know, cool. We all got our thing, right? So the other one he sent was well, another one he wanted to do possible pocket clip work on. He wanted me to check it out and see what I want to do. And originally I was like, I don't know why you'd want to change the pocket clip on this one, but as I've kind of handled it, I understand what he's saying with it. And this is a Chinese knife, although the design is outstanding. And I'm going to say it right now, this dude needs to hook up with M3 Tactical or someone similar to that and build one here, because this is a cool design and needs to be in more hands. And to me, like, this is the Vero. I don't even know which one it is. I think they call this an upholster lock, but, you know, the designs on it are just weird, man. Like, so unique. And I'm sure you guys already know this. This is just the first one I've had in hand that's a me size knife. It's more or less like, it's, you know, it's a decent blade stock thickness. It's a decent handle thickness. Just a good feeling knife. I know a lot of the guys that like Chinese knives like that. It's got a good control drop. The action's good on it. The lock bar feels good on it. Detent kind of, I mean, it don't suck, but it's not the best. Like, it might be just because I came straight from that Growler. And that Growler, I mean, detent, dude, that detent's so good. This one sucks in comparison. It just does. That's my one complaint with this one so far, has been the detent. So JD's complaint was that, which doesn't make sense why they did, how they did it. I just don't get it. I don't know. So you'd have to have a piece of stock that's as thick as this base, right? And then you mill it flat and then you bend it, because it's clearly hit with it looks like it's been hit when they were press brake. So it's been relieved here and then bent here. So they milled it flat and then bent it. Why don't they just bake the whole thing out of one piece of titanium? And I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. Like, it's still got to be 2 ops. Now it's 3 ops because you got to bend it in a press brake. It just doesn't make sense to me why they did what they did. It's design, I know, and everybody's different with that. Maybe they just wanted the flexibility, because these kind of style clips have a little more of that, you know, that flexibility in the pocket clip versus the, you know, milled titanium clips or a spring clip, or what, you know, they wanted it more like a spring clip, I guess, what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so I'm gonna try to do something with this for JD, and I'll let y'all know if I get something that I like, and I'll put it on video so y'all can see it. Obviously, it's not gonna have the Vero stamp on it when I do it, but y'all tell me what Vero this is. I don't know. Maybe JD tells me. I don't know. I should probably read my DMs before I just go running my mouth, but unprepared and out of time. So here we go. Right. All right. That's the update for what JD sent me. And JD, thanks for sending them, man. And I'll try to work on the pocket clips. I just don't know when, man. Sorry, dude. I got to get that shit done first. So it might be next year. But as long as I have the files, I should be able to do something. But I'm going to try to make it quicker. I'll shut up now. All right. All right, y'all. That's going to conclude this week's little shenanigans here in the Casa de los Gatos. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week. And look for the Growler next on the Owner's Edge. And I'll hand him the thing in like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 hours. I'm going to play with it the hell out of it until I get there. All right. See y'all next week. Later.